one of them is successful and one of them is an alcoholic.
Right.
And they asked the successful son, "Why are you successful?" And he answered, "Well, because my dad was an alcoholic."
Yeah.
And then they asked the alcoholic son, "Hey, why are you an alcoholic?" Well, because my dad was an alcoholic.
Right.
So there's two perspectives in that, and one made a wrong choice and one made a right choice. So always look at it as you have two ways to go, the right way or the wrong way. And that would be my advice: is always try to look for the positive in things.
Welcome to the Limitless CEO podcast hosted by Jonathan Rodriguez. Today we have Juan Briseño with BCD Industry. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure. I appreciate the invitation.
You're welcome. Just can you introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Yeah, so my name is Juan Briseño. I'm a licensed General A, General B concrete and masonry contractor. I hold those licenses. Been a license since 2014. We've been in business prior to that,
Yeah.
um, but 2014 is the current license that I hold. We do a lot of specialty construction, which is concrete, masonry. Masonry, just to clarify, is block work,
Yeah.
brick work, stone work,
Wow.
and pavers. So that's what masonry and holds
So
in
it's not
the
only like
licenses.
concrete, it's also like block
No,
walls and other stuff.
yeah, it's the concrete industry where what we focus on is mostly like flat work, which is what we call sidewalks, um, foundations. We do a lot of structural stuff, which you probably seen on my Instagram.
Yeah.
And then
No man, I see you all over the place.
yeah, we do. We have we hold the A license, which means we can work on bridges, street work,
Wow.
public areas, and we do communication as well, like the wireless industry for towers.
Yeah.
That's one area. So we try to go after government work, telecommunication, a little bit of residential, but we don't discriminate. We like to take as much work as we can just to keep the guys busy and obviously to serve the client.
Yeah. Nice. And how was it like growing up as Juan Briseño as like growing up like from like where were you born? How is it like?
Yeah, so I was born in '82.
Yeah.
I was born in Orange County, California.
Yeah.
Raised to two Mexican immigrants. We lived in Orange for about a good 12 years,
Wow.
and we moved out to Norco. Lived there about I would say 8 years. I went to school there from the last year of elementary, six. Went to intermediate school and then high school, and that's where in elementary I met my wife, and I got married young,
Yeah.
so I was 16 when we had our kid. We
Wow.
had our first son.
Same as me. That remembers me. We're so alike.
Yeah.
Like I was married when I was 15, and I
Oh
had my
wow.
first kid when I was 15, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah. So we had our first kid at 16, and then just went through the motions. I bought my house when I was 21. Actually moved out when I was 18. Bought my house in 21, and
you
then after that,
you bought your first house at 21.
at 21 years old.
I bought my first house at 22.
A lot of similarities.
Yeah.
So yeah, back in 2008, I fell into the whole industry where the recession happened. So we lost that, and I ever since 2008 I was bouncing around to finally settling down in Moreno Valley. So, but I have a lot of moving areas that I lived in,
Yeah.
and we just kind of decided to live in Moreno Valley. Same, I'm still to this point married to the same woman.
Wow. How old are you?
I'm 41.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. And
yes, sir.
what got you into the concrete industries?
So it was mostly a family oriented skill
Yeah.
that my dad was a mason, my uncle was a mason, and even first than that, my grandfather was a mason. So it was built into kind of like my genetics, right? That was
Runs
gonna
in the
be a
family.
mason, yeah.
Yeah.
So I learned it at a young age, and I they were doing their type of work as like a solopreneur,
Yeah.
and I took it as I wanted to be better,
Yeah.
so I went and took care of all the legals areas as far as being licensed. um, but it took me to the place where I was working for my father at a young age, but
Yeah.
I separated from him and I went on and looked for other jobs, and I was able to gain experience through those other companies,
Yeah.
from framing to stucco to additional concrete, additional masonry companies, and I kind of combined in all that.
So basically, you're like a general contractor.
I'm a general contractor. I have a lot of skills. I like to be skillful.
Yeah.
I could do pretty much anything, and what I don't know, I could learn it.
Yeah.
But I'm really hands on. So that's how I started my career going into the construction. I mean, at first when I was young, it's like I hated it because I saw how hard it was,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to be in the trenches, as they call it, within the company. So, or within the business of construction. So I wanted to be as far as possible. But the God said, go into the construction. That's kind of what I did. I followed.
But what motivated you? Like, what makes you take that next step to start your own business?
Well, my dad, he like I said, he had the entrepreneur spirit,
Yeah.
so that really got ingrained in me. And but he couldn't take it beyond that. So I came alongside, learning what I did
Yeah.
from different companies, and I took it beyond that point and went to go get my license. I started with one, and it was like addicting, right? So I went to the another one, to
Yeah.
the next one, and then just recently I got my General A,
So what was your first license?
the
Was that the
the
concrete,
masonry.
the masonry?
Yeah,
Which one is that one?
that one's the block,
Okay.
the
Is
brick,
it like the
the stone. C29.
C29?
Yeah,
Okay. And then you got the General A. It's a General A.
the General A, General B.
Which one is the General A? Is that the
The General A is the one that you could work on the public works.
that's the one I need.
Yeah, General A,
Yeah.
and then I have the General B, which is like uh, you could work on residential, commercial. You could do two. I believe it was rough framing, and there's another one. It's been a while since I looked at the booklet, but
Yeah.
there's a few that you could do, but you can sub out as much work as you can, because you're basically taking on the full project, so you can get a bunch of subcontractors to finish your project.
How was it like getting that license, that General B?
Um,
Is it hard to get? How long did it took you?
you know what? I've been blessed in that area. Um, every time that I've taken a test,
Yeah.
it's just from the experience that I gained. I passed it in the first try.
Yeah.
So that happened with my masonry, and then I went to my concrete within that year, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go for more, so I went for the B,
Yeah.
and then just in I would say a year or two ago, I got my A, and I passed them all
Nice.
on the same try.
Yeah.
So previous to this, to BCD Industries, I had
Yeah.
another company in 2007 that I used to own. So I had a different license number, and unfortunately, like I said, the economy kind of I tanked with it,
Yeah.
and I had to basically lose that license.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, because I've been trying to get my General B,
hmm
but just trying. I haven't been studying or anything. But like, how long did it took you? Like the study?
the General B. So you took the law, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so once you take the law, you don't have to take the law again.
Okay.
So all you have to do is just take the trade.
Right.
So the trade, I mean, it took me, I would say, within a month, just from studying
Oh,
and
really?
just kind of looking at the book, because, like I said, most of it was hands on,
Yeah.
and I learned math skills because it involves a lot of math,
Yeah.
as far as square footages, lanes, calculations. It involves that, so which
Yeah.
I'm sure you're good at.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it took there was a big portion in the test about
Yeah.
that I'm good at, but based on my experience and then the hands-on, so I kind of passed it.
Does it have some type of a calculus or something?
No, it's
Yeah,
just
because
basic.
all I know how to do is math, division, subtract, and that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. I mean, some
Yeah.
basic geometry.
Yeah.
Trying to get square footages.
Okay.
Um, being able to just know the areas and how to break it down.
Yeah.
S- So it's not that hard. Yeah, I'm sure you could pass it if you've gone this far.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. I think I'm gonna reach out to you later and see how can we get that license.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I got that building, that commercial building, so we probably can go out there and take a look at that building and see what we can do there
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, since you're gonna be out there, we can go out, take a look at it, and see what we could collaborate on.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's see what I have in my notes here.
So I know you mentioned the background. Did you want to go deeper in that, or like?
On the back, so I have a few questions here.
Yeah,
So,
go ahead.
what was some of the struggles that you had to fade and faced on when starting your company? Like the hiring, how was the hiring process, or where do you
Um,
get your advice?
so for me, um, the hiring process is mostly. I'm really, I guess I could say, as far as word of mouth,
Yeah,
I'm big on that.
yeah,
So if I know a guy that works well, I say, hey, do you know another guy that works well? And he'll recommend somebody, and we kind of hire him like that. And it's based on experience, right? You got to show me what you have
yeah,
in order for me to keep you, or try to find you another position, or maybe even not keep them in the company. So that's one area how I hire is basically word of mouth,
yeah,
because to hire somebody from the street is a little difficult for me, because you know I there's always trust issues. What are their intentions? What are they going to do with the tools that we provide? How good are they going to treat the rest of the employees? So I mean, culture for me is like it's big.
yeah.
So if they can get well around other people, then usually they're a keeper. But if not, and they don't have any skills, then I don't like to keep them around.
So it's just like word to mouth and cultural.
Yeah, word of mouth, and then we kind of develop a working relationship to see how skilled they are.
Do
Because
you usually like advertise? Not at all. It's just
not really. I haven't tried advertising, maybe like a couple times.
yeah.
Um,
How is
but
that working out?
it didn't work out. It didn't work out because I started to get just a bunch of resumes.
Yeah.
So it's better to get an interaction, for me at least.
Same here. I was doing interviews at the when we do like Indeed,
Yeah,
we like a bunch of interviews, and it's kind of hard to like go through all the resumes,
right.
make a bunch of phone calls, and then they don't show up. So yeah, it's always better to do more content and referrals and
Yeah,
like ask other people to if
right.
they know someone.
Yeah, that's how I usually try to find people, is by referral system. Like if I know somebody that's been with me, or I've used in the past,
Yeah,
and I ask them, do you know anybody that's looking for work? And that's how we kind of do it.
nice. So let's just go back on like what is your main focus on your business right now? Like what do you mainly focus
As far as work, or
on
or
work?
or the actual business part.
No, the actual like the work. What type of work do you do? Or
Well, we're like very diversified.
yeah,
Again, we do a lot of things. And we hold obviously the licenses to be able to do a lot of things. And but most of the time it's mostly concrete structural work. We have a lot of excavations, putting in underground piping, asphalting.
yeah.
Um, and that's within that realm that I'd like to keep in.
Is it like more like government work or
No, it's just a mixture of everything.
yeah?
There's government, there's the telecommunications side, and then there's very little. I mean, there's
What is like
residential.
telecommunications?
Telecommunication
What does
is
that mean?
it's you seen those towers,
Yeah, yeah,
and you've seen the ones that look like palm trees.
yeah,
Some now they're doing them like they look like water tanks,
yeah.
and it's what the antennas that give the signal to the cell phones.
Oh, okay.
So we do a lot of that. We do the cabinet installation, all the guts,
Yeah.
all the radios, the wirings,
Oh,
the cabling, the electrical. So we do all that work too.
that looks complicated.
Yeah, it's complicated. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
easy. And then we also do the on the side of the buildings. They'll put an antenna. We cover them up, and then we make the cover look like it's part of the building. So whatever texture it has,
yeah.
we match it. But
Al-
it's all fiberglass.
Also, you mentioned you do bridges too.
No, no, that's the license. The
Oh, okay.
license is gives me those abilities, but I don't. that's too much. That's when I'm get to the next level.
Yeah, and also I seen you on TikTok doing like sidewalks and stuff, and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, we do sidewalks. That was for college,
yeah.
right there in Irvine.
How is that like the paperwork?
Um, Again, it gets to be sometimes a little overwhelming.
Yeah,
But on this one, I'm a subcontractor of a general contractor,
yeah,
so they mostly take on all the paperwork, and I just submit as far as the certified payroll.
yeah.
I'm submitting all that documentation.
Do you have like someone just doing all the paperwork,
Yeah.
or do you do some of the paperwork?
Well,
Or
some of the complicated stuff I do because again, I more knowledgeable
yeah,
because they're gonna be at my assistant or the person doing it's gonna keep asking me questions. So by that time, I'm like, well, let me just have it, and I just do it real quick,
yeah,
and I give it back or I submit it. But most of the times, it's them doing it. Like my HR person, she takes care of all the certified payroll.
yeah. So do you gotta submit like hours and timesheets and
Yeah,
time records?
yeah. Everything's being documented. We go through an app and they clock in and out, and then my assistant she'll filter that, put it on a spreadsheet, and send it to our HR, and she'll do all our certified mail. I mean,
Nice,
certified payroll,
nice.
and then they submit it to the website.
Yeah, because we've done some prevailing, but we only do like 5-10%, and we don't know the entire process. But I'm trying to get them more into government work,
Yeah,
prevailing. I know we met that guy at the IE Mastermind, so I'm gonna reach out to him and see if we can work something together.
who's that?
That's Jay.
Thomas.
It was Thomas, but I think
Yeah.
it was his brother-in-law.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so I haven't reached out to him, but definitely I want to get into government work.
yeah. It's good. It's a good industry to be in.
I think it's a bigger projects, but I don't know how's the like the invoicing and AR.
Yeah.
Do you know how is it like how
Um,
do they pay?
I mean, they some companies. I mean, they're just people and companies, right? So
Right,
some companies pay a little faster than others.
right.
But there's a limit that when they get paid from the government, they pay you if you're a sub. But if you're direct, then obviously you get the money right away from the government. But it's just documentation is making sure you're invoicing correctly, and if you have subs under you, make sure that they document everything properly because it's all legal documents
Yeah.
that get submitted.
Yeah, because I heard they don't pay you like in 30 days or something.
Yeah, some pay you
You didn't even
15.
get the startup, huh? The startup or
No,
the like any startup payments or anything.
nothing.
Yeah. Was it
They
like net 30?
well, it depends. Like I said, some if you invoice, they'll pay you in 15 days,
Yeah.
but they won't give you no upfront fees or they won't give you a deposit or like a progress payment until you invoice.
How do you manage like to get all this cash flow? Like you don't have any cash flow? How do you manage to finance the projects?
It's kind of like a snowball effect. Um, whatever money we get from a project, we just roll it over to the next, to the next, to the next, and it gets complicated. It's hard
Yeah.
to stay afloat, especially when you're snowballing and rolling over money. But a lot of I use credit lines
Yeah.
and then I use loans. Sometimes when it gets a little tight, we pull from the loans just to keep the payroll going and pay our vendors.
What type of loans do you get?
The SBA loan,
Yeah.
and then a credit line from our banks, and then we have credit cards that we swipe, that we put
Y-
charges on.
Yeah, because I know the SBA loan is pretty good. I got a loan for I think it was like 300,000 at 375%,
Yeah.
but that was like the COVID-19 loan.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get any other types of loans, or is it that one?
Yeah, that one was the same one I got.
Yeah.
There was the PPP loan,
Mm,
and then there's to a certain amount it got waived.
yeah.
As far as any others, I mean, I get phone calls all the time,
Yeah.
but it's really hard to trust, who the person you're going to be dealing with, because what if they do something wrong and now you're in trouble with the government?
Right.
So, but for the most part, I just try to use what I need.
Okay. And let's talk about a little bit about how do you get to manage like all these businesses, like all these licenses, and with family time and your business and any tips that you can give out for the audience.
Um,
Because you're a busy guy. You're running government
yeah,
work. You have the guys. You have payroll, and then you have all these licenses.
right. I mean, the licenses are held under BCD Industries.
Yeah.
So once you start working, you kind of adjust, but it's hard because at first starting the business, um, you start to wear all the hats
Right.
and you get burnt out. You're working long hours, and then you miss to file an invoice, and now you gotta wait. But then you still have to go in the field, work in the field, come home, do estimates, invoice, and then
Yeah.
your wife is complaining because you're not spending time with her, and your kids are upset and they don't see you.
Yeah.
So there's as an entrepreneur, you're sacrifice a lot of things, a lot of areas
Right.
when you're focused on one. For me, I was focused on growing the business,
Right.
so focused, and I just had like a laser focus on it that I missed, and I sacrificed a lot of that time with my family,
Yeah.
with my wife, and but it's like people say you got to have a perfect balance, but that doesn't exist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Life goes up and down. It goes like this.
Right.
You got to find it somewhere where you can actually do both or do all things. Spend time with your kids, spend time with your wife,
How many kids do you have?
right? So I have a total of three.
Yeah.
So I have Nicholas, which was the 16.
Yeah.
The after the 16, when we were 16, we had him. Then we have Nadia, and then we have Natalie.
Okay.
So Natalie's our youngest.
So it's like 16, and what are the other ages?
No, no, Nicholas is 25. He's gonna be
Okay.
25 this year.
Yeah.
Nadia is 20,
Mm-hmm.
and Natalie's gonna be 17.
Nice. So I
So,
have four. I have a 18. I have a 15. I have a 6 and a 3.
oh, okay,
It's just I'm a little bit younger.
yeah. Well, how old are you?
34.
Oh, 34. Yeah, he's
Yeah, I'm
young,
turning 35 on January
and that's
18th.
good. All the stuff you're accomplishing at 34.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty
that's
cool,
good.
man. So how is your day like? Like what time do you wake up? What's your game planning? What's your
Uh,
priorities? What time do you go to sleep?
yeah, so I started implementing because growing up I didn't have any discipline.
Right.
So it was really hard to put a consistent discipline in my business.
Yeah.
But I started thinking, like, after at mid-year this past year, I started really implementing those systems,
Yeah.
personal goals, business goals, and family goals.
Right.
So for me now, as just before the year began, I started waking up at 3:30,
Wow.
3:30, and I started joining the gym. So I have that non-negotiable right there to be able to join the gym and go religiously to the gym either by 4:30, and just be able to put in a workout and then go out through my day, because that's kind of like my time. I put my earbuds on
Yeah.
and I just listen to something motivating. Either I listen to the Bible or a motivating message,
Yeah.
and I work out, and that's kind of like my time, because once I clock in, it's like nonstop. Everything just gets thrown at me.
Yeah. So what does your routine look like at the gym? Is it like hit workouts, or like more like cardio or
Well,
strength training?
yeah, strength, a little bit of cardio,
Yeah.
just so I can mix it up. Like I said, I just started implementing again, so I don't want to go exaggerated and then get burnt down and not show up.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to start off slow and then progressively get
Right.
better, because I'm just trying to put the image, and I want to feel good, I want to look good.
Yeah.
That's my goal for this year.
Yeah, it's important to look good,
Yeah,
especially when you're in business. It shows a lot about yourself,
right.
like yeah, how you manage yourself.
Exactly.
So you go to the gym from like 3:30, 4 to 5.
Yeah, I get up at 3 or 3:30.
Uh huh.
I do a little, Bible reading. If my wife's awake, we'll do a Bible reading together, and then I get up, go to the gym, and just put in a good hour workout, come home, and just start my day, and
Nice.
then just implement, my to-do list, and be able to really go through it and try to accomplish, because I'm still wearing a little bit of multiple hats,
Yeah.
because again, not being able to discipline at an earlier stage, I'm dealing with the consequences now, but I'm eventually gonna get to those roles where I don't have to be wearing so many hats. So I do have a finance department, I do have a HR department, I have a assistant, and they take care of all that area. But it's just sometimes managing the field, because I'm so, in a way, I work from a scared mentality, which if I give out too much power, what are they gonna do with it?
Yeah, like delegating is
Yeah,
hard. Yeah.
delegating is hard because it's just trusting issues. So it's almost like a little baby, right? You want to eventually let him go out on his own,
Yeah.
but it's hard to let him go.
How many people do you have under you?
I have currently, I believe I have 18 people.
Wow, that's a lot
Yeah,
of people.
yeah,
So you have like a system, like the some supervisors
yeah.
and managers.
Supervisors, and then I'm implementing a manager and operations manager. I have one in mind from from the company because I like to hire with or uh, promote within
Yeah,
versus bringing somebody else in.
I agree. Most of the people I promote are within the company.
Yeah.
Like my brother, he was a painter.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's an estimator because he went through all the ranks, like
Right.
from the painter to a crew leader to a supervisor
Right.
to
Right.
an estimator.
Yeah. I mean, currently I just got an office, another office that I'm gonna. That's where I want to do the podcast. But I'm gonna
Yeah,
really, really dive down and train even my son to the estimating part of it
yeah.
because that takes a lot of time.
Oh yeah, all day.
Estimating is like a full job,
Woo.
and then you don't even know if you're gonna get the job.
Yeah. I mean, tell me about it. I'm estimating all day.
Yeah.
Like I'm like same as you. I wake up at 3:34 and I just hit the gym real hard for an hour and a half, listening to podcasting, and then I have my to do. For me, it's more like 4 to 10. I'm on top of the company. I'm
Yeah.
just I tell my assistant, I'll see you at 9:10 at the office, and then I'm working on myself. Go to the gym. Same as you, I have my priority list. I have a notebook and I have also my notes. But I like a notebook because I can highlight all the items, and as I'm going, I'm highlighting and doing. And I don't know, something about the brain and the hand and the connection with the pen.
Yeah.
It's just you doing more, and it's a good feeling. Like you're checking
Exactly.
off things, checking off things, checking off
Eh,
things, and just having a game plan. Once you get to the office, you're crushing it. You already accomplished so much. Then I'm in the company.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. It's just something about just checking it down, Same
yeah,
thing with journaling. You write it down and it just there's a power behind that.
yeah, yeah. Never. I heard never cross out anything. Just highlight it and keep your notes. You
Mm.
can always go back and reference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know a lot of people. They just make a bunch of notes and then they throw it away. I have the same notebook for what, a couple years, like
Right.
one notebook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
How is it how many estimators do you have?
Well, right now it's just me, like I said.
Okay, so you
But
saw all this work for everybody.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and it gets to be a lot, right? To
Yeah.
the long hours. But that's why I want to build a team around it
Yeah.
because I want to be able to teach them what I learned
Yeah.
because I like putting a lot of stuff on spreadsheets and then I do like my preliminary. I'm sorry, my preliminary estimate,
Yeah.
and then I create the final estimate.
Oh, so you already have a system.
Yeah, I have a
Yeah.
system in that.
Yeah, that's good because it's teachable and it's scalable.
Right, exactly. So
Yeah.
I have a system set up already,
Yeah.
so I can be able to just to give it to the next person, and then obviously if they're newer, I have
Yeah.
to explain what is involved with estimating. For example, a slab. Right, it's not
Yeah.
just a slab.
Yeah.
There's grading, there's compacting, there's rebar, there's forming, and
Yeah.
then there's the final product, and then you still got to go and clean it up. So there's a lot of steps.
Yeah.
Like when they see a piece of paper, they just think it's a slab, but no,
Yeah.
there's more things that go into it than
Yeah.
just
Yeah. There's a lot of things into it, and I'm relatable to this because same thing with me. Where I used to work at, they had a system. Once I came and started my own company,
hmm
I mean, they let me borrow their system, but then it expired, so I needed to build my own system. So it's really, you have to be really detailed on
right,
all the processes, and also like we same thing. We have it on Excel, and we have the drop down, the entire drop down from like scraping, sanding. Like we do everything on time and material, but everything goes like with scraping, sanding, prep work, masking,
right.
to the application, to how many doors, how many windows, and then this way it's also teachable to someone else. So it's not
hmm
just in my head. We put
hmm
it in a spreadsheet, and then we were able to train other estimators. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 estimators
Oh wow,
with myself, and I think now I'm at the point that I gotta stop
yeah,
and train them more, so we can hire more people.
right,
But yeah, it's always good to have a good system and a
yeah,
good training program.
yeah. I have a system, same thing. I break it down by hours,
Yeah,
by materials, and then I convert it over to profits and overhead,
yeah.
and then I transfer it to the final product. And then for plans, I started using this system that's really good. It's I don't know if you heard of it. It's called Plan Hub.
No, I heard Plan Swift.
Yeah, it's the same
It's
thing.
the same
So
thing.
you
Yeah,
basically just download it
yeah,
and you're able to highlight the areas. Because I
yeah,
used to do it the old fashioned way. It took a
yeah,
lot of time
yeah,
scaling stuff
yeah,
and then writing it down, but that takes a lot of time.
yeah,
So this program, these digital programs, they're like a time saver. You know, you cut the time in half. You're able to calculate your square footage, and then you just convert it over to your other platform.
yeah,
So they have sometimes they have integrated platforms inside of them.
yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool. Like, I try to do my estimates like in, I don't know, like 30 minutes to 60 minutes tops when they're like the big ones.
Right.
And like the small ones, I can probably knock them out in 10, 15 minutes. And I have my assistant, just barely. I hired him about a couple months ago,
Uh huh.
and then he's doing all the rough draft.
Okay.
He types them up, and I just come in and check it, and then send it in.
30 minutes with that process set up, or
30 minutes. So basically, I can literally do 5, 6 estimates a day.
wow, that's
So
good.
put in at least, like last week, I put in like over $1 million of work estimated, and then I just do follow up.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good. That's where I need to grow on that follow up because I'm just so busy estimating,
yeah,
and the keys in the follow up.
yeah. You have to have a lot of follow up, a good system. Do voicemail, email, video messages, text messages, email, video. I mean, you kind of have to do it all.
Right.
Yeah.
So as far as your percentages when you follow up, how much like you say you've gotten that?
So for me, my closing rate, it's 80%, but like overall my estimators and with myself, we're probably like at 30, 35%,
Oh, okay.
like in an average. So I think out of 10 projects, we land three, two, three, four, maybe
Oh,
something
okay.
like that. Yeah,
That's good.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah. But this year we want to. I mean, we're talking this morning. We want to sell 1 million in the next couple weeks. So we have a lot of projects coming up and a lot of marketing we're gonna start doing,
Yeah, that's
like
good.
commercial ads, concrete coating ads,
Right.
residential, cabinet refinishing ads. We'll see how it goes. We haven't tested. We're doing pretty good now.
Right.
We're doing Yelp, we're doing Google, we're doing networking. We're part of the CAI association,
Mm-hmm.
so we're doing about close to like $100,000 a month in marketing. Uh, but yeah, yeah. So right now we want to do more,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna throw in maybe $5,000 $6,000 in ads, Facebook ads,
Okay.
and a little bit in Instagram and TikTok, and then we'll see how it goes.
And that's just it attracts your commercial business
So basically, I'm
or
gonna
it's
throw in commercial, residential, concrete, cabinet refinishing in different areas. So you can throw in, let's say, you want to throw in some ads on San Marino, Santa Clarita, Calabasas, West Hollywood, Beverly Hills. So you can target areas, and then from there, it'll send you an automatic message to your email, and you can connect it, integrate it to a CRM, and the CRM will put it in your calendar. So automatically, and then from the calendar, you can just call the customer
oh,
and
okay.
confirm. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
It's good to know.
yeah. I mean,
Definitely.
we can teach you how to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no
Yeah, I would
problem.
love to learn that.
Yeah, for sure. Um, how do you deal with competitors? Like, like, do you ever face competitors on
Oh yeah, yeah,
when
especially
you're doing the bidding process?
yeah, I mean, it's gotten really competitive now
Yeah,
where the industry grew so much that the competition is greater. So at the end of the day, it's just again going back to the follow-ups
yeah,
is about following up, providing that customer service that the customer wants
yeah,
and a little bit above their expectation. And but yeah, competition is fierce, especially in the residential. That's why I kind of stepped away a little bit off from it.
yeah. Residential is kind of hard, man. Like for me, it's like, well, for my estimators, they probably closed on 2 out of 10. 'Cause there's a lot of competition, and
Yeah,
there's people that don't have a license,
exactly.
they're not insured, and they're just underbidding the projects. And so that's why I stick more to a little more commercial
Right.
HOA, because we have the licenses, we have the insurances. But yeah, it's kind of hard
But
with the
even
competitors.
even then, it's starting to get a little bit more diluted like that with people going into those industries that don't have a licenses
Yeah,
that get a cheaper price. But I try not to worry too much about it because again, I don't want to say that that's the cause of my failure.
yeah,
So I want to be able to just keep going plowing and plowing if I have to go different.
yeah,
That's why I'm diversified because if one area is a little bit saturated or slow, I can move to the next one and
Yeah.
just keep building it like that.
So you usually lower the price or just stick to the same price and
I mean, if it's within a good ballpark
yeah,
and if it's within our budgets, I might. But for the most part, I stick to the estimated cost.
yeah. And then I wanted to ask you because I wanted to ask you about the what are your core values? What is your mission statement from your company?
Right. So the core values is
Because I know it's important. Because for me, it's like when I'm like my core values when I'm doing like hiring and firing, I always go on my core values.
yeah,
If they're not aligned with my core values, with my mission statements, then I don't even hire them.
right. So core values for me is integrity is big.
Yeah,
Integrity, commitment, hardworking, being ethical, and having a what else? Having I wrote I didn't write them down, but I have my core values written down at my desk. And passion,
nice.
you know.
Yeah, because if you don't have passion, then the purpose, then
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. If you don't have a passion or purpose or integrity, because integrity goes a long way. If you're gonna say you're gonna be somewhere at a certain time, you gotta show up. Because I committed, as a representative of the company, I told the client you're gonna be there at a certain time, and you don't show up,
yeah,
that looks bad on us. Or you even just um, you know, being saying you're gonna do something and you don't do it,
yeah,
and it just gets prolonged. Loyalty is a big one too, because it's like, you know are you going to stick with us, and we're going to teach you how to be in the industry? Are you going to stick with, be there when we need you?
yeah.
So
I,
those are,
I mean that's like the hardest part. Like like people like you train people and then they leave, so that's why it's they have to be loyal. I think that's important as well.
yeah, I have to be loyal. A couple people said you got to be able to put an incentive thing, a program.
Yeah,
Maybe that's where I need to go next. But that's a big one for me. And then just honesty.
yeah.
Honesty is a big one too, because
Oh yeah,
if
yeah, for
you're
sure.
especially when you're being working at a client's property, you got to make sure that you're honest about things. You don't take things from them, or you again we provide tools that you're honest with them, bringing them back, and you don't take them and store them or say they got lost. So
Do you
that's
do like a
big.
background test to the guys?
Again, because I work on a referral system,
Yeah,
I haven't implemented that, but I'm going to,
yeah,
because if I want to scale, I want to be able to have all these systems in place. So if I do start getting uh, people applying from the street,
yeah.
I want to know who they are.
Oh no, yeah, of course. We don't usually do a lot of background tests as well, but because we do a lot of referrals, we start doing more like background and drug tests once we start like
Noticing them.
noticing them,
Yeah,
or we get anonymous calls like people are like smoking on the job sites or stuff like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's how kind of works for me too. But I need to start putting those systems in place.
How do you deal with like employees, like bad employees, firing the employees?
Um, I mean, that's one thing too. It's kind of sketchy, especially in California,
Yeah,
because the employees have a lot of rights. It's and I asked my mentors. He's pretty much told me, just clarified, write ups.
yeah,
Have a write up system in place, so you can be able to write them up. And after the third write up, you kind of like gotta let them go,
yeah.
or you start slowing them down with putting them.
So you do three write ups, like first warning, second, third,
Yeah,
and then you let them go.
right.
Yeah.
So again, it's not really implemented, but I need to implement it more.
What motivates Juan Briseño? Like, what motivates you to keep going, to keep going on your business, to keep growing?
Um, the thought about having freedom, building something for the future where I don't have to work as hard, um, building financially, and being able to provide those things that I saw as a kid that I wanted.
Right.
Being able to go on vacations without having to worry about finances. So that's my motivation. Obviously, being what would you call it? as a like giving to the people that need it,
Right.
being able to provide for those people, for people in our family, people that I know that are struggling, being able to be that type of I can't even think of the word right now, but it's
Just providing to others.
yeah, but as a just being able to give to them.
Yeah, giving back.
Yeah, giving back.
Yeah, no, I agree because a lot of people, especially in our culture, the Hispanic community, we're always like, "Oh, I don't want to give advice. I don't want to give out back to people," and um, that's why I started the podcast because I want to give back to the community, and I'm
Right,
always giving back. And then people are telling me, "Why are you giving back if nobody gave you nothing?" I'm like, "Well, you just gotta give back to the community and be grateful."
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the best part. I mean, um, is providing value to people that just don't know how to, that had a rough childhood.
yeah,
Like for me, I had a rough childhood. It molded me to the person I am now, but it's affected me through my lifetime. I have a lot of. I was the oldest, so usually the oldest child always takes the worst of it,
yeah,
and so I had to live through a lot of violence through my family, a lot of drugs, a lot of alcoholism.
yeah,
So I went through this, and I didn't want to go that route. I went a different route,
yeah,
but then I took all that baggage with me.
yeah,
I took all the baggage, and I think that's why it's taking me a little bit more to get where I want to go because of those all the stuff that I was holding even up here,
yeah,
self criticism, self love, and it's taught me to a sec like I said, I did a lot of reflection,
yeah.
and I'm able to be aware of those
Yeah.
things that are blocking me because all they are is roadblocks.
Yeah, because it's just you get programmed when you're young and you got to reprogram yourself and your beliefs, and I believe that because me too, when I was younger I had different beliefs, and then I had to reprogram myself to think better and think bigger
Right.
and be better, obviously.
Yeah, a lot of it is genetics. So when you're even before you come out of the womb,
Yeah.
your whatever your mom was facing with emotions, it comes to you,
Yeah.
right? So a lot of it's genetics, but then when you come out into the world, the experiences that you're having is what programs you,
Yeah.
right? So you have to go try to break that mold
Mm-hmm.
as you grow up, but you got to be aware of it.
Yeah.
and and that's the stage where I'm at now. I've been doing work since like 2015
Yeah.
on it. I became Christian. I gave my life to the Lord, and it's definitely changed my mind because my marriage was broken.
Yeah.
I had a broken marriage, and the only way to fix it is by being able to provide, um, give myself up and become a Christian.
Yeah.
And it definitely opened a whole realm of situations of blessings.
I agree. Ever since I started church, this was back in 2000 2013.
Hmm.
I started going to church. I got my daughter, she's the one that is 15.
Right.
She got into the choir when she was only like 5 or 6, and she's been serving church ever since then.
Hmm.
And I haven't missed church every Sunday, so I go to church every Sunday. Well, I miss church here and there when I'm
Yeah, yeah.
traveling, but I try to go every Sunday. I try to help as much as I can, and not only the church but being with God daily, and then just talking to him. I don't think the culture is or what Christian or Buddhism or Catholic, whatever it is, but as long as you're connected to Jesus and you're talking to Jesus before you eat, being grateful and just thinking of him, I think that really helps
Yeah.
along with the family and along with other things that you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just being able to believe in a higher power
Yeah.
is what, builds you as a person,
Yeah.
and changing your mind and being able to apply new programming
Yeah.
and be able to, go through these because entrepreneurship is hard.
It's hard.
Not a lot of people can do it.
It's a long game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got to be in there for you got to have a lot of grit,
Yep.
you know,
Resilient.
perseverance.
Yeah.
Yeah, perseverance, because if you're just there looking for just to be able to, buy your toys and buy your fancy cars, it's like that's not right.
Yeah.
You got to be able, because it goes beyond that.
Yeah.
There's a higher calling on that. So definitely,
I think so. You have to be purposeful.
yeah, purposeful,
Yeah.
and have good intentions. And
Yeah.
God sees that.
Yeah.
And if God sees that you're good with the little you have, he's going to bless you with even more.
I'm with you on that also because I don't believe much in karma. I believe more like in giving back, like giving back. If you give back, let's say if you give $1, then I believe that then the universe will give you $1 back. I mean $10 back, and if you take away from someone, then something bad is gonna happen to you, or like 10 times more.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's always good to give, but don't expect.
Yeah, yeah,
You have to be able to provide to the people that are needed more than you,
yeah,
but don't expect it back. Because when you say, I'm gonna give $1 and I'm gonna expect God to bless me, that's when he's like,
yeah,
no, I'm not gonna bless you.
yeah,
So you got to just be able to give and just be thankful that he's able to give you that so you can give it to somebody else.
yeah. I
So
agree.
definitely believe in that.
Yeah,
And it's been a learning experience for sure, because like I said, I had a lot of messed up things up here that I have to go through, and I've slowly learned how to put those have the correct tools to be able to put those self criticisms away, and not being able to accept myself and stuff like that.
yeah.
So
Were you ever bully when you were younger?
no, but I think I was a bully.
Okay.
I mean, not necessarily. I was I
Yeah,
was a I was a pretty calm kid, but when somebody pressed my buttons, like, it was game on,
yeah,
and it's but I was never looking for it, because, like I said, I grew up in a house with the violence,
right.
so that's what I knew. But at the same time, I wasn't out looking for it. If it came to me, then yeah, something was gonna happen, but it wasn't something that I was looking for.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah.
funny. Hey, any like business insights you want to provide to the audience, like for business? I know you have a long journey. You have your business, and there's a lot of startups that they want just business insights.
Yeah, a couple things is just being able to have perseverance, being able to plow through those issues, because what happens is, when business is hard, like I said earlier, but when they try when you get into the first issue, it's like they want to give up.
Yeah,
And on the other side of that, of giving up, is what you're looking for. And it's just a constant journey.
yeah,
The your goals are always moving, set goals, and they always keep moving. So the journey is what's gonna make you and mold you, because a destination, if you put a small destination, you're gonna get there quick.
so just think big as you can, and have a game plan.
Yeah, have think big. The mind is powerful, and just think big, and set some goals, write them down, like you said earlier, write them down, and be able to just look at them periodically,
Yeah,
and then you're gonna eventually achieve those goals. But being you know being relentless, definitely, because it's a long journey. If you want to get and you want to be successful, you got to be able to go for the long haul.
yeah,
Jesse says this, right? If you want to go far, or you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, you take somebody with you.
oh yeah, yeah. I also think in collaboration is the new currency.
Yeah.
Collaborating with other people will be you'll get to your journey faster.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
mentorships and stuff.
yeah,
Nowadays, everybody's a mentor, and you can learn from.
yeah,
Um, and find somebody that's done it,
yeah,
that's done what you want to do, and be able to either go alongside of them or ask for advice, whether it's a skill, learn that skill. And then if somebody knows a business, learn the business side too, because those are the two parts, just skill and the business.
yeah,
You could have a business and just be by yourself and be okay, but if you want to be able to scale, you got to know how to run a business.
yeah,
So it takes a lot of those two areas that if somebody's done it and is willing to teach you a little bit. Obviously they're not going to teach you all of it. It's up to you to be able to get what you can and be able to apply it
yeah, and take action.
and take action. Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, because business is not just business; it's operations, finance,
Yeah,
marketing, sales, people, leadership.
exactly.
It's a whole beast.
It's a whole big beast, and you got to be able to prepare yourself, because if you're not equipped for it, you're not gonna you're not gonna last. There's a lot of nowadays these gurus on, especially this. 20-year-old kids that say, they can make you rich, and
You can make
realistic.
$1 million in one day doing
Yeah,
these two things.
and it's that's crazy.
Yeah, and they haven't even done it themselves.
Exactly. So always follow that too. That follow somebody that's actually done it and been in the trenches.
Yeah,
And not just say that they know how to do, and all they're doing is reading a script.
I think also something that I learned from Brandon Dawson. He says that you always gotta ask the person, like before even taking advice, like what is the biggest thing you ever done, quantify by revenues, like per employee, and also like what was your biggest exit. So you always gotta ask where they at before even taking advice, because if
Right.
you're like, let's say you're making a couple $1 million, and then you're asking a guy that is making $1 million a business advice, so maybe he's not the right one.
Right.
So maybe look for someone else. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's good advice right there.
So what are three books that you would recommend someone that is just starting?
Well, the biggest one, I mean, kind of where I started was and I'm assuming, and I've heard a lot of people start as the Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good book. Yeah,
Yeah. So I read that. Um, I read, let me see what other ones. Atomic Habits,
yeah.
and another book would possibly be, um, there's one from, what is it called? Uh, Harv something.
Um, I
I
don't know.
I, I forgot the name.
Harvest.
No, I forgot the name.
Yeah,
But those two books are
yeah.
are good. And there's another one that I read just recently, but I can't think of the name. I got thrown off on that question.
Yeah, no, no worries. Yeah. So we have Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki,
Kiyosaki, yeah.
and Atomic Bomb,
Atomic Habits,
Atomic Habits.
and the one
Yeah,
other book that I've been reading is Seven Effective Habits.
7 effective habits.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, that one's a good one because it's kind of like teaches you all the good habits, and you can kind of go back to it too.
Yeah,
So those are good books. Oh, actually, Think and Grow Rich.
yeah. Think and Grow. That one's a good one.
Yeah, Think
Yeah,
and Grow Rich is kind of like something you can keep at all times and just go back and
yeah,
look at it, because that expresses a lot of the imagination and the power of it.
yeah. No, for sure, 100%. So where is Juan Briseño going in the next 5 years?
I see myself running a $20 million company.
Nice.
Being able to just sit down at a desk and just be well dressed in a suit as I pull in. I have my nice car in the parking lot, and I'm able to provide work for a good amount of people, and be able to have that cash flow that's required for it.
Nice.
So I see myself there, and
A
just,
100 plus company.
uh,
100 people plus.
yeah, 100
Yeah.
people plus.
250,000 revenue per employee.
Exactly.
$20 million. That's good, bro. Nice.
Yeah.
Any advice? Any inspiring advice that you would give an young entrepreneur? Just anything.
Um, Inspiring is, you have a choice. They have a choice. It's kind of like the story of the drunk, of the alcoholic dad,
Yeah.
and he has two brothers, two sons.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is successful, and one of them is an alcoholic.
Right.
And they ask the successful son, "Hey, why are you successful?" And he answers, "Well, because my dad was an alcoholic."
Yeah.
And then they ask the alcoholic son, "Hey, why are you an alcoholic?" "Well, because my dad was an alcoholic."
Right.
So there's two perspectives in that, and one made a wrong choice and one made a right choice. So always look at it as you have two ways to go, the right way or the wrong way. And that would be my advice: is always try to look for the positive in things.
Yeah. I mean, that's great because you can. There's always going to be bad things and good things, but
Always,
you always want to get the good things, put it in your pocket, and then keep going.
always.
Yeah, it's like I was talking to my executive assistants as we are driving. I'm a really calm driver, and I'm always driving slow. And there's always these people cutting me off, and I'm like, I mean, let them go, Like
Yeah,
they pass the stop sign, and this all these people cussing on their phone, and I mean, I'm always happy. And even though I have a lot of problems, and I'm always taking advice from anyone. I mean, if it works, works. If it doesn't work, then I don't even think about it.
Oh yeah, that's another one
You
too.
know?
Is like being able to be coachable
Yeah,
and always try to learn. You don't always know everything,
yeah,
especially being young. You think you know everything,
yeah, yeah,
and you don't. You know, I went through this. I thought I know everything,
yeah.
and being able to have people pour into you, because what happens is God puts people in your path
Mm-hmm.
and to give you messages, and if you don't accept them, that's like robbing yourself of a blessing. So always be that person that's willing to accept advice,
Yeah.
you know, because God put them there for a reason.
Yeah, that's me. I'm always taking advice. Like, don't say this, don't say that. Uh, I mean, whatever it is, I'm always learning.
Right.
Like I don't think I know much, but a lot of people think I do know much, but I don't. And I'm always learning every single day, even like an app or setting up a computer or something. You know, because I have a lot of people that I delegate,
Hmm.
but I'm always learning other stuff. You know.
Right. No, I mean, that's advice and maybe just a word, right?
Yeah,
If they have a
yeah,
word for you,
yeah.
take it.
It's like when you're reading a book, just a small little sentence. I mean, that can go a long way.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, that's good. I mean, you're doing great. I see you now on social media, and you have good. I mean, you have this. This is nice.
I mean, I'm trying my best. We're doing the Limitless CEO, and we're starting the Just Right Painting podcast, and we have a lot of lineups, and yeah, I mean, we're trying our best to stay committed to daily content. We're posting once a day stories. So if you think about it, it's once a day stories, and then it's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, WhatsApp, YouTube, and then now we're streaming, and then we're doing the podcast, and then we have 4 companies. So that's imagine 2 times 5, that's 10 times 4, that's 40. 40 posts a day. And we're gonna try to multiply that times 6 posts a day. So that's gonna be like 240 posts a day. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot,
So yeah, it's a lot of content just by recording it and then editing.
and
And
that's through all your businesses.
yeah, yeah. So we have the just right painting, and then we have the fajas, but
Yeah, I was
that's
gonna tell you if I can get a faja to make me look a little bit better.
yeah. And we'll throw you on a 3x 3 extra small.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, it's just kind of hard to run all this content, but I'm committed. So I just started like no, not 3 weeks. I started like 6 weeks ago, and we've been posting daily, and our following it's been growing, so it's pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah, we've been landing a lot of projects and also meeting a lot of good people like yourself and other people on social media and
Yeah,
networking events. Yeah.
that's good. Who how did you get the idea of posting that much? Is just from seeing other people, or
So I always wanted to do it, and I felt like a year ago I started posting the wrong things, just like I didn't know much about personal branding. I started posting about like painting stuff. That's all I knew how to do, and then maybe on a soccer game or whatever. But then I'm like, I got to do something different.
yeah?
I always listen in Grant Cardone, attention, attention, attention. You got to be posting and posting. So then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna pay for a blueprint, and I paid for a podcasting blueprint. It was like $7,500, and that got me going. Because sometimes if you don't pay attention.
Right,
If you don't pay, you don't pay attention.
right.
So I paid those $7,500, and that got me going. I went to Ryan Spinetta conference,
Hmm.
and that's when I that got me into posting more and more and more. And then I went with Albert Preciado, and I invested like 14,000. No, I invested like $8,000 on the driven, and I got the VIP for myself. And then I bought my daughter, my son, and my wife a ticket.
Hmm.
And then when I was there at the mastermind, I bought the 14,000 for the following year. So that got me going. So I'm like, okay, I really got to post.
Yeah,
I invested all this money. So then I started posting, and the more you talk about it, then the more you get into it. So I started talking to my social media guy, and he's like, "You should start posting. You know a lot. People are like, even if you don't think, because I told him, you know what, I don't think I should post. I'm not even interested because like everybody's the same." And then he's like, "I mean, you're pretty interesting. You wake up at 4 in the morning, you go to the gym, you do this, you do that, you go like 16, 18 hours a day. Like not a lot of people do that, like, and they having a family. I have 4 kids and my wife and then running all these businesses. So that's why I started posting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah.
That's true. You're very interesting. But that, again, we go back to what we think about ourselves.
Yeah,
We think about ourselves that we're not interesting,
yeah,
but we really are.
yeah. It's all in the mindset.
It's like nobody really could do what we do.
Yeah.
If it was easy, everybody would do it.
And now I'm a little bit different. Like I'm an introvert, but like now it's like if I can help someone, like someone that was in my spot when I was like 15, 16 years old, then that's for me that I'm already paid off.
Right.
Like just doing it more and more and more, helping people. Then now I'm okay with that.
No, that's what it's about.
Yeah,
Is being able to provide those opportunities for other people.
yeah, 100%.
Yes, sir.
Anyways, can you tell the audience where they can find you on social media?
Yeah, we have we have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I have a personal is the Juan Briseño,
Yeah,
and then I also have my business is BCD Industries on all three platforms. So you can interact with us there. Um, you can direct message us and we'll answer. Usually pretty quick to respond. So mostly Instagram. Instagram is utilized more, but we
yeah.
can definitely use all those platforms to
So
communicate.
yeah, so you can find Juan Briseño at the Juan Briseño. It's gonna be on the top or on the bottom here. The Juan Briseño on his personal brand, and also BCD Industry. Also, it's gonna be here or here on the top on all social media platforms. And yeah, so thank you so much for being here at the Limitless CEO podcast, and stay tuned for the next episode. Peace out.
Cool.
There it is.
Good job, sir.
Yeah, thank you for being here, man.